Now, a new report commissioned by the government in Burundi is causing anxiety and consternation both in and out of the country. Just over a year ago, hundreds of people died when Burundians took to the streets to protest against President Pierre Nkurunziza's third-term bid. But now a commission in the Central African nation says the majority of people don't want presidential term limits. The report has raised fears that President Nkurunziza is moving away from the Arusha Accord, which was designed in 2000 to guarantee a power-sharing arrangement between the Hutu and Tutsi ethnic groups. The United Nations Office on Genocide Prevention has expressed concern at the rising political temperature in Burundi, warning that the inflammatory rhetoric coming from both sides of the argument could presage another massacre in the country. Well, joining me in the studio is Emery Igiraneza, editor of BurundiDaily.net, an online news site on Burundi. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. First of all, what's your reaction to this report, which is being portrayed by the opposition as the manipulation of the opinions of some people?
It's quite, a remarkable time in Burundian politics at the moment because, look, we were talking about maybe hope of peace. We have now a report, and it's an actual a reality because there was an inter-Burundian dialogue that was initiated by the government. Now, what they did was, let's listen to what Burundians think, whether really they need this Arusha Accord anymore. And remember, this is the foundation of Burundian peace. The 10 years we have heard were just based on this agreement. Now, they came up with a report saying majority of Burundians do not want it. And now,
so it's your sense that the report's been manipulated?
The report has been manipulated because, remember, it's not all Burundians. A part of Burundian political class is out, has been fled because the government doesn't want them there.
Right.
So they can do anything they want. They can report it the way they want, or they can include only opinions of those people they want.
Yes. So is it your sense that President Pierre Nkurunziza is trying to use it to hold on to power?
President Nkurunziza initiated that. He knew very well, what he wanted out of it. So it's no surprise to anyone that the report is coming to say that we don't want this power sharing. In fact, when they say majority want, he's trying to use the rhetoric of division, saying majority are Hutu,
right,
and therefore they don't want it. This is very serious, and in fact, that's why the UN is very concerned.
Yes, now I'm going to get to that in a bit, but what will be the consequences if the recommendations of this report are accepted and implemented by Parliament?
If looking at the situation of Burundi now, the composition of the parliament and the government, we know for sure if they take it in the parliament, it will pass, and this is what they are going to do. So the consequences are massive. First, it means we're getting away with the Arusha Agreement,
right,
which means from this time onward, they don't have to refer to it for any institution or organization. That means the minority, which is the accord is there to protect the minority, first of all, and therefore they are saying they don't need to be protected anymore, and fear of genocide is coming that way.
So given what you've just said and this fear of genocide, what is the state of ethnic relations right now in Burundi between the Hutus and Tutsis? Because, of course, one always keeps in mind the horror of the ethnic massacres in the 1990s, but we're nowhere near that type of shuddering nightmare, are we?
You can see one good news in the composition, the general population in Burundi, if you want. The reality is, it's only the elite Hutu, few of them, those who are in the government, who want to use it to divide the population. If you look in the opposition, there are a lot of Hutu who have expressed that a genocide is in preparation. And they are not wrong because they used to be a part of those who prepared it. So now we need to understand this, really, this is where Burundi politics is very complicated. It's a tiny country. We have people, Hutu now, who are saying, look, the government is planning to kill Tutsi and other Hutu who don't speak same language with the government. Now, Tutsi, they are so afraid they're not even speaking. You know, they have been so victimized. A report yesterday just came up showing the composition of the intelligence of Burundi. All interior intelligentsia is made of Hutu, and these are the ones who are committing genocide.
Okay, I want to thank you very much indeed, Emery, for coming in and having this discussion with us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.